Back to the live streaming of this historic visit to the bailiwick of Guernsey of His Majesty King Charles III and Her Majesty Queen Camilla. We're back with you live, and King Charles and Queen Camilla will be arriving in approximately 5 minutes. Now this afternoon feature golden Guernsey goats receiving very recognition. We'll then move on to the elements of the programme for Alderney and for Sark. Due to time constraints, Their Majesty was to go on this occasion, engaging with people from Alderney and Sark, who will be here to represent their distinctive island communities. This live stream is to enable from Alderney and Sark who could not get across to Guernsey for the day, so that they can feel part of it too. So I hope you're receiving us loud and clear in Alderney and Sark. Their Majesties have arrived at the large garden behind the Cotils, overlooking the islands of the bailiwick, and just descending from the large balcony, they're making their way to the golden Guernsey goats. And the granting of royal title to the golden Guernsey by His Majesty is symbolised today, when His Majesty will be a collar with a specially engraved bell around the neck of 8-year-old female golden Guernsey Somerville Tamsin. Tamsin, accompanied by her owner Rebecca Martin, who's been featured in a lot of local and national news. The title was announced. Her 10-year-old son Kerr is with her and will be assisting His Majesty in putting the bell on Tamsin. Here's the collar with the bell, and there's Tamsin. And there we are. Of the Golden Guernsey Goat Breed Society and members of the Royal Guernsey Agricultural and Horticultural Society. Golden Guernsey goats, a very rare breed originating from Guernsey and distinguished by their golden skin and hair, as the name suggests. They are in fact a minority breed and considered at risk on the rare breeds watch list. In fact, His Majesty the King is a patron of the Rare Breed Survival Trust, an organisation devoted to achieving a secure future for Britain's native. Miss Miriam Milbourne rescued the Guernsey goats, the golden Guernsey goats, from oblivion after she some in the scrub herds of the island back in 1924. Fittingly, for the 100th anniversary of that moment, the goats will be formally named during His Majesty's visit to the island in 2024 the word royal in their official name. Royal Golden Guernseys. A very proud day, not just for Tamsin, but for her owner Rebecca Martin and for Joe Kerr. Now the royal party is moving on to the area of Albany, where they're going to be met by the President of the States of Albany, Mr. William, who presents Mrs. Gabrielle Tate, his wife. Volunteer Fire Brigade, who's also a member of both the Alderney branch of St John's Ambulance and the RNLI. And they'll be presented Miles and her maid of honour, Anna. Address which he presents to His Majesty. And seated by the President we have HM Procureur Miss Megan Pullum, HM Controller Mr Robert Titterington, Chair of the Court of Alderney Durette Teixejon, retiring Chair of the Court of Alderney Durette Neil Hunter, and the Greffier of the Court of Alderney, Mr David Knight. Also the Chair of the States of Alderney Policy and Finance Committee, Mr Nigel Voot and Miss Candida Osborne. States of Alderney members Steve Roberts, Alexander Snowden and Bruce Woodhead. Chief Clerk of the States of Alderney, Mr Theo Elijah. Head of Finance of the States of Alderney, Mrs Elizabeth Morris. Finance Manager of the States of Alderney, Mrs Elena O'Toole. And President's Office of the States of Alderney, Miss Jill Truesdale.
The importance of our deep and long-lasting relationship with the Crown. We are deeply aware of Your Majesty's lifetime of dedicated service to all the people of the bailiwick, the other Crown dependencies, the United Kingdom, the Commonwealth and the wider world, and your constant interest in their distinctive cultures and sustainability. We, in return, renew our pledge to you in constant loyalty as your Majesty's faithful and loving subjects. We humbly pray that the blessing, guidance and protection of Almighty God rest always upon your Majesty, upon Her Majesty the Queen, their Royal Highnesses the Prince and Princess of Wales, and all the other members of the royal family. It is our fervent wish that your Majesty may long continue to reign over us as our sovereign. Dieu sauve le roi.
President, I am most grateful to you and the States of Albany for the warm welcome you have given to both my wife and myself, and for the assurances of devotion, loyalty and allegiance to the Crown you have expressed on behalf of the people of Albany. We greatly appreciate the efforts you've all made to bring Albany to Guernsey on this particular occasion, and it is a special pleasure to see the members of your community here today. My wife and I fondly remember our visit to your island in 2012, in the year of my late mother's Diamond Jubilee, and we are really deeply sorry that we are unable to visit you on this occasion. We had the opportunity 12 years ago to meet many islanders and to see the great devotion and affection to Her late Majesty from the people of Albany. We are delighted to hear that your island hall is actually thriving. We look forward, I need hardly say, to returning to your island again in the future and to meeting as many members of your community as possible. Has one of the oldest connections with the Crown, and therefore I hope you will be able to convey our affectionate greeting to the people of Albany as today we celebrate the close and special time that bind us together. I pray the blessing of Almighty God will attend upon all your deliberations and prosperity of the island of Albany.
The loyal address, and now he's going to be escorted by the President and Mrs. Tate to meet, amongst other people, the homecomers. By the homecomers we mean people who came back after it was completely evacuated during the German occupation in 1945. Mr. Billy Bowen, his wife, their daughter Emma O'Doley, and also meeting Mrs. Wendy Wood, the head teacher of St Anne's School, and 4 students from the school. Mrs. Wilson explaining the importance of the homecoming to the community of Alderney. I'm just going to read the notice of evacuation that was given by Judge French. So the King and Queen are hearing E. Parry's home Alderney's momentous question. Led by a student from St Anne's School in Alderney. And now His Majesty will be escorted by President Tate to present James Lancaster, Managing Director of Alderney Electricity Limited, and Mr. Lancaster is going to explain Alderney's renewable energy strategy. Meanwhile, Queen Camilla is moving on to meet some of the charities and voluntary organisations from Alderney. Trust. speaking by Dino Radio. And they're installed side of the area church, the Alderney Bird Conservatory, the Alderney Wildlife Trust. Time we'll be talking to Age Concern, the Alderney Animal Welfare. Wide by 3.5 miles. 21. The population 104 hands with the schools. In the Sark area, Major Christopher from the Seniors Garden. Oops. Oops.
On that occasion, and to see beautiful island and sustain the island, beautiful island and sustain the island.
Paying of homage to his Neil.
Avouons tous vos légitimes et possessions de cette tenue de nous, sauf pareillement à tous nos droits.
Sark's up and they got a song in circle to their Majesties, which from German occupation finally on May 1940. Of course, the seigneur at that time was on the island throughout the occupation. Mr. Jake Burnett, Consultant Communities for Renewables, which is the consultancy chief secure energy. The Sark Power Project is a proposal to establish a new island-owned new power system on Sark, including mix of wind, solar, diesel.
Of the bailiwick.
Mr. Kevin Adams. Children are about to sing Majesty. We'd like to wishes for many happy returns to Her Majesty. And now it's to walk about about 2 square miles. About 2 square miles. And push bikes are allowed in island with no tax on in. Just 35. What a tremendous thrill it would be for these Sark with their king and queen.